Hello everybody and welcome back to some more naval action. Right, today we're not going to be doing anything too specific. We're just going to be sailing out, finding some battles, doing some missions, hopefully ranking up. I'll skip all the tedious going backwards and forwards, etc., so that you guys can just see the battles. So that's what's that? St. Pavel. This one's 2 United States and 2 Great Britains. That's a third-rate civil Great Britain, so we're gonna stay away from that. Oh, looks like the pirates have been busy. We've taken over every single port around here. That's great. That really is good. So now people will be actually able to sail out in peace without being bothered by some American, well, not American, but United States ship. Let's have a look then. So we are going northwest, north by northwest, a little bit to the left. So yeah, as you can probably tell, since we last left off, most of this was claimed by the Americans in Great Britain. Now most of them are free ports and pirate ports. So this should also allow me to maybe do some trade. I will probably do trade in the next video actually. This one will just be simple battles so you guys can get a more, in-depth look at the battle system. And when it comes to it, I'll probably just spend an hour or two just going around to all these different places, because the hardest ones are probably going to be these ones. The easiest ones are going to be these ones because they're all pretty much in a straight line and I only have to go through one direction really to actually visit most of these. Because when you visit a town, the thing that you will get is a produces and consumes. So basically, I'm going to be showing you trade next round, and that is a pretty basic video. I mean, Mortimer Town has pine log, redwood, silver, and stone, and it consumes a lot of stuff. So Mortimer Town is going to be a very easy place to find places that produces that kind of stuff. So this one here produces gold, furlong, compass, and wood. And Mortimer Town does use the gold. I think that's about it really. So if this place produces gold and this place needs gold, put 2 and 2 together and you have a little tiny profit there. I don't know how much profit we'll get. I'm guessing that the more expensive the item, the more profit you'll make, or the more you can fit in your cargo hold, the more profit. So yeah. So but this time we'll just be simply focusing on the battle system. And yeah, there's not really much I can go in depth really, to be fair. I mean, I went pretty in depth on the last video, even though that was pretty much the basics. As soon as I get the whole manual sailing down, I'll probably show you guys that as well. Not really got into it just yet. I prefer the auto. I just prefer the auto just because it's a lot more convenient, and well, it's just one less thing that I have to focus on. Because I don't want to be focusing on turning my sails and turning everything else while in the middle of a battle, while broadsiding someone while also aiming. So yeah. But we shall go out to some of these points. I've already been to a couple of them. For example, Latour is a free-owned place, but only consumes Indian tea and American cotton. But it also produces red log, silver, stone block, and pine wood, which is... Actually, is that used there? I could have sworn I said red. Oh no, it produces that. Okay, fair enough. So all we got to do is travel around a bit. Well, all I got to do is travel around a bit and find some places which produce different things. And then I'm probably going to make a small trade route, to be fair. Because there's always one you can make. The best kind of trade route is always the one which starts in point A, goes to point B, goes to point C, and as many ports as you can fit in, and then it comes all the way back full circle to point A. It's just because the more stops you're making, the more stuff you're selling, the more profit you're making. We're basically going to go full Ferengi on this one, if any of you get that. If any of you get that, if any of you are a Star Trek fan. But I'm hoping to make these videos regular. I know my last one was about 3 days ago, but I did actually go out on the weekend here. Woohoo! Damn, Tony, you're going out. I know where it goes. So I didn't really have time to make the videos on the weekend, so I'm making one now. Just basically showing you some more naval combat. I mean, it's just after the training video, I think I'm just going to wait until I get to my next ship. Because that way you guys don't see the same old action all over and over again. I want to put basically more combat into this video just because of the simple fact that combat is cool, basically. But yeah, I mean, there's not really much to talk about, to be fair. I mean, I've already explained everything on the screen to you. You got your pirates. They normally say yar. Say yar back. Yar. Yar. Oh, I didn't shout it like he did. Well. Our target should not be that far away now. I mean, we did go straight northwest, which is pretty much that way. Well, if we hit Rag City, then we know we've gone too far. To be honest, if I can't find it in 2-3 minutes, then I'm probably just going to cut the video and then go to the mission by myself. Obviously not by myself, but you know, find it myself. The wind is actually changing right now, which is not the best thing it could do, especially since I'm going northwest. Let's start by heading a bit. Actually, let's head north a little tiny bit, because that way we can be sure where it's actually where the mission is. And in that way, sorry guys, got a bit of a sore throat this morning. But I am planning on doing some other games as well, not just this one. When I get around to them, I will. As I said to you guys, I just want to take it slowly. Like, you know, just get back into it, get back into the swing of things, get back into recording, get back into making it regular. Just, you know, all that good stuff. So for now, it's going to be just this. And I don't know, I might do some Elite Dangerous. I mean, basically this game, this naval action is Elite Dangerous, but obviously in this time, not with spaceships and blasty lasers. I haven't got Horizons for Elite Dangerous, so unfortunately you guys won't be seeing any of that footage. So I'll probably just do some more combat runs, just make it a quiet video, just so you guys can, I don't know, watch maybe. You know, no commentary, just plain old shooting, destroying shit, blowing shit up, all that kind of good stuff. So by now, I think we should have at least be seeing it by now, shouldn't we? Unless it really is that far out. Because we can still see the town, sort of, it's over there. It's when we start seeing, like, these points where we want to be a bit worried. Because it should be out here, because I went directly northwest, pretty much, anyway. We just need to keep an eye out for... Ah, there we go. That's it, eagle vision, eagle. Ah, great, fucking hell, it's right. It's always right directly northwest. So I have to fucking go into the wind. So as you can see, actually, a lot of people are pretty inactive in the guild that I'm in. You know, 10 days, 11 days, 26 days, 18 days. So, you know, you'll find that a lot. People normally play this in very short intervals, go off of it, wait for the next patch, and then come back. So, but it's still, this game still gets the, oh, sorry guys. This game still gets a regular player base. Like in the morning right now, actually this is not even morning, it's like 12. So around about this time, there is about 40-45 people on. At night, there's about 80 or so, 80-90. Now I know that may not seem like a lot, but to be fair, considering they have pretty much, like, you know, this isn't out on early access yet, you actually have to email the guys and ask them if you can get into the it, and then it costs you, like, I don't know, for the Americans, you guys pay like $10 more, and like in the UK we pay a bit more as well to get in, but you know, it's worth it. If you get in now, like right now, email them, you know, send them the monies and all that kind of stuff, then you get a yacht, which is what which is the first ship that you start out with. But the reason why this is so good is because you really, if you guys are planning on buying this just to save a couple of extra quid or a few extra bucks, then really I don't think it's going to be worth your hassle, because you start out in a Lynx. Now let me tell you guys about the Lynx. It's shit. It might as well have 2 cannons either side. You guys will have to make your way from there upwards, unless you can get gold pretty fast for missions. Then you can just buy a yacht, which is, you know, sounds simple enough, but that's like 10,000 in itself. And when you start out, you only earn 1,000 per mission, so that's 10 missions, you know, just to buy a Lynx, plus probably a little bit less to be fair, just because when you end the battle and you do a lot of damage, it normally gives you a bit more. But if you're in a Lynx, you're really not going to be doing that much damage. So if you guys are going to buy this game, then I would suggest finding maybe a buddy that might want to buy it as well, just so that you can team up. You may not be able to team up in the actual missions themselves, just because that's a single player instance. Like, you can't have someone else in that apart from the AI. So, you know, you can buy AI ships, but then again, the AI ships cost a lot anyway. Like, the cutters cost 14,000. Like, you know, they're not exactly cheap. Right, so of course we have our AI with us, our 2 cutters, and we're against a brig and a snow. I think I'm going to go for Ben Rule first, just because, well, obviously he's the snow, so I kind of want to kill him first. Now, this shouldn't be too difficult of a battle, even though brigs and snows are notorious for their freaking health and their armor. So, you know, it's not going to be difficult, but it's not going to be entirely easy. Just want to give it a turn slightly there. This guy has gone directly into the wind, so that's a bonus for me. And it's an AI ship with no idea what it's doing. Keep that. Now, while he's facing directly into wind, you can pretty much get a free broadside on his ass. Like, sounds a bit gay, I know, but in all honesty, that's something that you want, because the backside of a ship is the most weakest part, so you're basically getting a free leak on it. Okay. You see right there, I pretty much hit him in the backside, although he did turn slightly, so he kind of did dodge some of those cannonballs to his backside, so, you know, it's just, we're just going to have to get him on the turnaround. I probably won't turn it into the wind like the Muppet I am, so I'm just going to turn the ship full circle. So we did quite a bit of damage. I have, I believe I equipped the 18-pounders back onto this ship, because the 32-pounders, even though they did quite a bit of damage, the 18-pounders still did a fair bit of damage, and they reload quicker. So, you know, you kind of have to choose in this game what you want. You either want more damage but less reload, or less damage but more reload. To be fair, the more reload you get in, the more damage you're doing anyway, just because it's damage per set, just because it's damage per reload. You know, it's going to be not like you're not going to reload it once, then fire it, and then, you know, it's not going to be entirely perfect. So what I did there, when you press the space bar, the shots do tend to get a little tiny bit inaccurate for some reason. Like normally if you press space, they all go in a nice straight line for you, normally. But when it's space bar, it normally kind of just throws the cannonballs all over the place. I don't actually need gunnery right now, just because I actually need survival, because I am leaking. So hopefully we can kill this snake pretty fast. I mean, it would be helpful for our smaller ships who are engaging that look over there. Yeah, we'll show something. A little bit more. Oh god. It looks really close. I think it is really close. I think he's travelling away from me at an angle. None of these hits. None of these cannonballs are actually going to hit. That one did. We hit him once, guys. It's finished. We got him. So none of those cannonballs hit. Obviously, I am really good at this game. Although it's kind of hard to tell. I'm not going to lie, especially with carronade. With a long range cannon or a medium range cannon, probably all of those would have hit. But with a carronade, you really do need to aim high, like really high, most of the time. I'm just gonna try and come on this side right now. I don't really want him to. Okay, he got his side onto me first. This is gonna probably hurt slightly. Oh, he missed most of them. Never mind. Didn't hurt. He's going to be heading into the wind soon, so if I turn around, then he'll also be doing the same. How's my... Okay, these guys are getting pounded a bit. Okay, maybe I won't check. Cannonballs should start reloading soon, considering I did start firing them one by one. The cannonballs do get loaded that way. You got a good shot off the enemy there. None of my cannonballs are probably going to hit him, knowing my aim. Now I find that with the Cerberus, turning into the wind isn't as bad as being in one of the like a Mercury for some reason, just because this one has more sails, I think. But on this one, you can pretty much just full turn it. Like, you don't really need to compensate that much. This guy's shooting cannonballs in those sails, which is not very nice. Pool is almost down, but that's because he's been fighting a brick 1v1, because my other guy decided to let him. The brick is actually pretty damaged, to be fair. Like, they've done a really good job on that. On his left side is the weakest, so I want to be coming around this way. I want to cut it really close, just because I want the most effect. I don't really mind if he blows away the front, although the front is pretty bad. So that was a pretty good barrage. His backside kind of went a bit. I can now turn to my left and get my other barrage off. That's if he doesn't turn into me. Which would be nice if he didn't do that entirely. Or I could just ram him like that. That works. Just keep ramming him, you know. As you do. side into his rear. Kiwi's probably going to have lots and lots and lots of leaks right now because one, I rammed him good and proper. But mainly it's because when you ram someone, it's always going to cause a major leak, like on their point. When you break your front mast, whatever that's called, that front section with the 3 sails on it, that is going to break off on smaller ships. And then that's when you're going to get major leaks. But when you're in a bigger ship, I don't know, you seem to be able to ram more successfully. So really this guy is probably going to sink after the next couple of volleys. Probably after one more broadside, he's going to lose an entire armor section again. He's already lost the backside, but I think, from my experience, the best side to knock out first is the front. Just because, well, water is always ramming into your ship from the front. So if you've got a leak at the front, then water is always going to be coming in from the front. You know, makes pretty much sense, doesn't it? Well, pretty good sense anyway. That's a turn. Let me get that look on your backside. Cannibal should be reloading soon. Inside, yeah, that's pretty much his side done. Pretty fair. Hopefully I can kill him like in quick time, just because my other guy is probably going to be dying soon. I do kind of want to turn onto this guy just because I want to get my right side off on him. But unfortunately, it's very difficult to turn in the big ships. Even though the AI make it look simple as hell. Ow! That's not very nice. We just stop. Something good sailing probably. Then I can turn. Although my left side is almost reloaded again, so it's not all that bad. Actually, his left side is pretty much exposed. So if I can keep on turning onto him, then I should be able to get a good side off of this. Almost done. Also, it's kind of hard to show you in the bigger pounders, but there is angle to your shooting. If you shoot him at an angle, then you're not going to be able to do a lot of damage because the shots might just bounce off. Obviously, you know, if you shoot a cannonball, you're expected to go through them. But if you shoot at an angle, then, well, the shot's just going to bounce. Now, I have to start making my way over to this guy, because this guy's pretty much done. He's got no back armor, no right armor, barely any left armor, and he's got full front, but to be fair, he's not going to be able to really come back from there. Let's put another shot into his front. Yeah, and he's sunk. There we go. Alright, this guy did sink out of a cutter, but that was to be expected. One of my cutters died at least once in one of these. It's not really that expensive to kind of buy them. Like, I can do about 3-4 of these missions, and then, you know, I'm able to buy 2 more. It's, you know, you do earn quite a bit of money when you're higher up. You also earn more XP when you're higher up, but that is only because you do more damage. They've actually done a number on this guy. He's got no front, no back, pretty much no left. And his right side is almost dead as well. So I would probably be already expecting this guy to be sunk, but obviously he's a bit more stubborn. My ship in a ramming. It looks like he's capsizing. My ship does anyway. And that's how fast like this like tiny ships can turn. Like, they're really difficult to keep up with, especially when you can make fucking handbrake fucking turns like that. Right, so he no longer has a left armor now. So there's no front, no left, barely any right, left. You know, He hasn't really got much going for him at the moment. I mean, one broadside from me would do it, but he should technically be sinking considering the no armor thing, you know? You guys might know about that. I am sailing very slowly because I am pretty much against the wind. So if I turn slightly this way, if I can get the wind going sideways onto me, that'll probably give me really good speed. Is he still shooting at the cutter that's sinking? That's just a dick move. It's like, you guys are already dead, but I'm gonna keep on shooting you. It's just like, yeah, just make sure they're dead, you know. Cutter's holding out pretty well. His right side is pretty bad being up, then again he just take a broadside from that brig, but I'd say it probably goes cutter then brig, but I went straight to the Mercury because even though the Mercury didn't give me full crew, it was still better. Let's do the full broadside on him, and then that should be him done. No armor anywhere. No armor. Absolutely anywhere. Everything is gone. His front, his back, his left, his right. So he should be sinking like a rock right now. There we go. Alright, we can now leave the battle. So we lost one NPC, not really much of a big deal. The NPC cutter cost about 14,000, so we just received 300 there, plus 900. That's a straight up 1,200, you know. That's, well, 12,000 gold. So, yeah, not really all that bothered. Plus, we got about 275 XP, and we got a turning trim, which is a permanent. Reduces your max speed by -1%, but then increases the turning speed by 1%. Which isn't all that much, but obviously, you know, you're probably not going to use half these upgrades in the future. So, if I look at the damage details, I caused 2,498 damage to the snow, which where mostly all my stuff came from, plus I killed it. But then the 8 damage I did to it, which isn't really all that much considering he didn't really have any armor left. I killed 2 crew, and I didn't even get the kill for it. That would probably most likely be my cutter. They got the kill for that. So that wasn't too bad. We'll repair at sea and then, well, go back home, as it were. But yeah, guys, I mean, there's not really all that much to talk about, to be fair. I mean, as you guys know, it's just, I mean, it's not one of those games really, like, I mean, there's no music to it, so like, it's not like I can just let you guys watch this with some music over it, because obviously I can't use other music, otherwise I get copyright striked, which isn't good. I don't monetize these videos anyway, but, you know, people can still say, yeah, you're using that music without permission, you suck, but nah. I would use it, but there's not really, I mean, the only music I could really use for this is, like, calm she-santies, like, from Assassin's Creed 4. I normally actually listen to those while I'm playing this, just for something in the background. I have heard they are bringing some form of music into this. But obviously, they mainly want this to be a kind of immersive experience, even though you got all this shit around you, all this interface around you, like, you know, the skipper auto, etc., etc. They still want it to remain pretty immersive, so I'm guessing music might ruin that because, well, obviously, you know, if captains in these days said that they started to hear music while simply sailing, then I think they would be a bit, I think they would be, you know, slightly crazy. They'll probably be known as, like, a crazy captain, probably, to be fair. You've already spent 2 days at sea, which is long enough for anyone. I wonder what other locations we took over. The British still own all this section. The US still own all this section, apart from that one Spanish town. French pretty much own this section. The British own this section. This is all mainly free towns and neutrals. Free towns and neutrals you can pretty much go to as a pirate. as well as pirates, obviously. But you can't really go to many of the other factions just because, well, you're a pirate. You know, they don't really like pirates. You know, you might be surprised by that. But yeah, I'm just surprised we caught this many. It's only been a few days since I last recorded, and we took back nearly all of our territory that we used to have. Because obviously Mortimer Town is our main, is our actual capital. But then, you know, the United States came and took little Inagua, Islet, all the surrounding ones as well. And I'm going incredibly fucking slow because I'm going into the wind. Turn slightly so that if I see it on my left I can just turn in. But yeah, I mean, they've done a pretty good job, our pirates have. I mean, you know, the Spanish doing all this, the Verenide, whatever the fuck that is, doing that. This is Denmark. Denmark doesn't really own a lot, to be fair. Like, Denmark has been pretty much pushed off the map. You can't really see many of their stuff. I mean, I think that's literally like, that's the first Denmark one I've actually seen. Like, it's Philipsburg. That's the only Denmark one I've seen. Oh, and that one. That's the second one. Ah, there's a third one. So it looks like they own like 4 of the islands. Well, not 4 of the whole islands, but 4 ports. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's about 5. So yeah, about 5, I'd say. They own 5 ports out of this many ports. That's because I don't think that the Denmark, well, obviously not people from Denmark, but you know, the nation Denmark in this game, they're not very active. I don't think either that, or they haven't got a lot of people. Because, you know, obviously the main ones of the age of sail is just mainly, it's obviously pirates, because there's a lot of pirates. But mainly it's just Great Britain because of the Royal Navy. You got the United States, you got Spain, and then you got probably France. That are probably the biggest, like, at the top dogs in the sailing world, kind of. Like, you know. So, you know, people don't really go these other ones. I don't even understand what that means. I'm guessing that's something like Prussia, but I'm not entirely sure. You got Cerberus, which might be Russian. I don't fucking know. But they do have quite a few nations. It's just that a lot of them, the primarily active ones, the US, Britain, France, Spain, and the pirates. They're the main active ones. Also, this one, the Prussian one, seems to be quite active considering they can keep all their ports. But, you know, that's mainly it. And then Savage, Denmark, and that's neutral up there. Mainly those guys are not very active. Because I do believe you can be in the free faction, the one where, you know, they have no alliance. Those are mainly traders, I believe. The people that go the free state is normally traders who just literally want to trade and get money and, you know, do all that on the game. Which, you know, isn't a bad idea. I mean, if anything, it's a good idea because you can get a lot of money saved up, like a lot of money, and then possibly transfer your gold over to another account, and then, you know, train that one up to be really good, or just use your trading one, to be fair. You know, it doesn't, when you're trading, it's easy to get the money. And then when you trade it enough, you can go into crafting. Now, crafting, if you can craft some of the bigger ships, you're looking at quite a bit of money. Like, you know, I mean, I can craft, the biggest I can craft is the Victory. I have a St. Pavel blueprint, but probably at the moment it's just the Victory. And then the Victory sells for, well, just a lot of money. A lot of money. Like, I've seen a Septisima go for about a few mil. But then again, I've seen a Constitution go for a few mil as well, just because it was exceptional. So, you know, you can't really judge it on like how big the ship is. You mainly the thing that you're judging it on is how well it's been built. If it's a basic ship, then you know it's not really anything special. But if it's an exceptional ship, then that's going to have a lot of upgrades unlocked. And a lot of upgrades mean that you get a lot of advantages, even though sometimes the upgrades can... Oh God, pardon me. Even though the upgrades sometimes kind of countermeasures your actions. So you might have something that is like, oh yeah, you can turn faster, but you have to sacrifice some speed. And it's like, oh God, okay. Actually, I think I'm going to go down this way more, so that when I reach over to this area, over here, I can then just turn left into full wind and get there quicker. I bet you, as soon as I come out, this wind direction is going to change completely. Or my mission's going to be somewhere, like, in the direction of the wind. That's always the thing with this game. We don't really have many pirate towns outside of this area, to be fair. So, okay, we have Arcus for some reason. It's just all the way over there. To be fair, I haven't even travelled outside of this area yet. Like, I've been playing this game for a couple of weeks, not even a week yet, and I have only been here. Like, the furthest I've been so far is up to here. And probably up to here. So, you know, I've been here, been down here, been there, never been through here, and, you know, I've been over here. So when you're playing this game, you're not really going out that much. You're not really kind of, you know, going into the vast open sea. But trust me, like, you know how long it took me to get from here to here. That took a few minutes. That took like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, roughly, probably. I'm not entirely sure, to be fair. And then that's just traveling a very, very, very short distance. I mean, that was literally like a hair follicle away. Like, you know, it was just literally from here to there. Imagine going from here to there. It's like, or going from this side of the map all the way down here, or down from here to here. Like, you know. Maybe at one point when, I don't know, if I ever reach 1k, I would happily do a video that goes from up here all the way down there. And then just, you know, talk all the way or just chat some shit, like, while I'm going down there. Like, I would happily do that. That'd be quite funny. Boring, but, you know, kind of enjoyable at the same time. Because this... If you just, you know, as I keep saying, it's just a long way. If you guys are looking for an open world kind of seafaring game, this is it. This is like Daisy kind of map shit. Like, if you want to go from, because I know that for a fact that the Americans have gone up here to defend these parts, but it took them a while. Like, it literally took them a while just to get up there. And that's the thing. It's just, it's silly because. That's like a 30-minute ride up there. Probably longer, to be fair. So, you know, it's just, you have to, you know, you want to keep in the area which is easiest to stay around. Because then, obviously, you're going to know it better. You're going to know which direction to go, where you are at what point. And it's just going to be, you know, it's just going to be a lot less hassle for you. It's a Romany there. That ship is better than mine, but only by a slight margin. I'm gonna probably go for the surprise when I actually level up. Just, you know, because I want to. But right now, I think I might just end it there. I really do want to get out videos for this, but I want to do it really slowly and one at a time. So that you guys are probably going to see a few videos upload of a single battle, just because the battle can actually take quite a while. It really can. And I'm literally just trying to, you know, get some videos out there so that you guys know that I'm alive. and so that you know my plans. This is a surprise, by the way. This normally has 240 crew on it, but when I level up I should have about 200, so it shouldn't be that big a pantry. But yeah guys, thank you very much for joining me. I will be doing some other videos and some other stuff later on, but not quite yet. Maybe, I don't know. I'll probably decide later on today. But thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next time.